What did I tell you? Yesterday. Ooh, it's Joker. It's Parasite. Oh, heck yes. Heck yes, I love that Asian representation, and it's not just because I'm also an immigrant who doesn't happen to be from North America, but who happens to be from Asia, born and not necessarily raised there. Let's talk a little bit about some more hockey, because I know you love hearing about the Oscar talk. That's exactly what you come to my channel for, but hockey is kind of where it's at too. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a player who has sparked a little bit of a bidding war for himself amongst two NHL clubs. Take a look at this guy. This is Malte Strömwall, who is a player who is currently playing in the hockey club for Sochi in the KHL. He's got 36 points, 44 games played, he's had 19 goals, he's a 25-year-old right-handed shot. A guy who, last year, playing for the Kookoo in the Liga, was one of the best players in that league. He had the most points in the Liga last year, he had the most goals, 57 points, 30 goals, and 52 Liga games played. He was one of the best players then, he's one of the pretty good players in the KHL now. And this article here from Hockey Zaver, I'm not even gonna try, talks about how Malte Strömwall has some NHL interest. Take a look at this right here. According to minhockey.se, several NHL teams have shown interest in the Swedish KHL star. The site points out that the Detroit Red Wings and Edmonton Oilers are two of the clubs that are, it actually says pleasant to season the 25-year-old. Let's use a few different words in that sentence. They're two teams that are interested. So that is the current narrative that has been brought up on this article over here. And just in case you're wondering, minhockey.se, the source that this article actually sources, is a paid-for subscription service. I tried clicking on it, you can't read it, you have to pay for their articles. So let's talk a little bit about Malte Strömwall and who exactly he is and how he can come over here and help either the Red Wings or the Oilers. He's a guy with a weird path. That's pretty much the best way I can describe it. His path is weird. This guy was born in 1994 in August. Okay, so that means that his draft year is all the way out there in 2012. In 2012, he would have had the ability to be drafted, and in 2012-2013, he would have had the ability to play in the NHL. In his draft year, he played for the Tri-City Americans of the WHL, where he got 27 points in 64 games. It's easy to see why he was undrafted. The next year, he was a point per game, 66 points in 66 games, and that's a pretty good set of improvement, but for a guy who was 18 in the year, they didn't see the merit towards drafting this player still. Give it a year later, and he goes over to the Växjö Lakers of the SHL. Back home, back in Sweden, where he started out his hockey playing days, 7 points in 40 games played. That's really not all too great. He was loaned over to the hockey club Troja Ljungby. That is terrible, I can't believe I just said that. In the Allsvenskan, 3 points in 2 games played. Okay, give him another year. He plays with the Växjö Lakers, he gets traded, he's playing with the Luleå Hockey Club, he doesn't really have that best of successes over there. Then he gets loaned out to HV71, he gets loaned out to the Allsvenskan, he's all over the place. And at this point, the guy is like 20. So it's a pretty rough path starting things out early on. Then eventually he goes over to the Allsvenskan once more and he stays there. And with the AIK Hockey Club, he posts up 42 points in 49 games played. Ooh boy, what a great set of numbers over there. As a 21-year-old in the Allsvenskan, the Tier 2 Pro League in Sweden, the guy is looking like he's becoming a legit hockey scoring threat. So he gets a little bit of a boost, and he comes over to North America once again. He plays for the Hartford Wolfpack, the New York Rangers AHL affiliate, and only gets 6 points in 44 games. Yeah, that's not a good set of numbers for a guy who was just under a point per game in the Allsvenskan the year before. Then he went over to the ECHL, the third-tier pro league in North America, played with the Swamp Rabbits, 2 points in 2 games. Then he peaced out and he went to Finland. playing for the Kookoo in the Liga, 20 points, 37 games played. Then bring him to his season last year, where he played full-time, was the best player in the Liga, period. Most points, most goals, 57 points in 52 games. Now he's with Hockey Club Sochi. And he's doing pretty well for himself. 36 points in 44 games isn't bad, but now because of this performance, he has found his way onto the radars of NHL teams. So how exactly does Malte Strömwall play the game? Well, he's a guy with a really nice set of wheels, and a really nice shot too. Frequently with the Kookoo last year, I saw him poaching up on the Ovechkin spot on the power play, loading up those one-timers from the circle. And you have to remember that Finnish ice is much bigger than NHL ice, so there's a lot more room to move around, there's a lot more distance between the average player and the net, depending on where you stand. So Strömwall would always just be there hammering in those one-timers or taking the puck into the slot, shooting it, and absolutely finding these pinpoint accurate holes to slot the puck into the net. He did a lot of that last year, and he did a lot of goals on the rush too, a lot of assists, playmaking on the rush as well, setting up guys in front, throwing the puck to open areas. The guy was a good offensive player, and for a big part of the Kookoo's season, he was wearing that golden helmet. The golden helmet signifying the guy, I believe it's the guy with the most goals, or if it's not the guy with the most points on the team, I'm not necessarily too sure. But he had the golden helmet for the entire year pretty much, and he was the best point producer in the Liga. He made the All-Star team. He had the most goals, most power play goals in the Liga last year, and this year he's made the KHL All-Star game as one of their best players. And it's no surprise, because the guy has boasted up a skill set that translates on paper. And sure, when you're taking a look at these European free agents, you're not taking a look at their complete game. You're not taking a look at, oh, is he good defensively? Is he good in the PK? You're taking a look at guys who have one or two specific skills that you think can help you in the NHL, and you take a look at those and you capitalize on those. If Strömwall comes over to Detroit, or if he goes over to Edmonton, they're not going to be signing this guy to get another fourth-line grinder or a PK guy. When you sign a player like this, you're looking for the traits that he had in Europe to translate, and that is his goal scoring. That is his ability off the rush in transition. That is his playmaking on the fly and his thinking on how to play the puck forward. That's the kind of skill set that Malte Strömwall has possessed over the past few years, and it's something that Detroit and Edmonton are both looking at. Best case scenario, he comes over here and he actually plays the same way he did in Finland, plays the same way he's playing in Russia right now, posts up about, 20 goals or whatever, 40, 50 points in an NHL season. That's the best case scenario in my opinion. But obviously, the worst case scenario is far below that. Worst case scenario, the guy comes over, he's not good, he's playing the same way he did when he was playing in Hartford, and he gets sent over to the AHL and he doesn't translate in terms of his productivity. So there's a big range for European free agents. We saw the same kind of thing with Oliver Kaski last year, where the guy was an absolute beast, like a point per game in the league as a defenseman. Then he came over to North America and wasn't nearly as hot. Now he's in the Carolina Hurricanes farm system. But Strömwall is another one of these players who, if he pans out, great. But if he doesn't pan out, which is also likely too, then At the same time, though, when you sign these European free agents, you literally have nothing to lose. Best case scenario, you get some good NHL offense for free, pretty much. And worst case scenario, you get probably just a contract spot taken up for about a year or two, maybe 3. I don't know how long they're gonna sign him for. But yeah, check out some of this guy's highlights on YouTube. The KHL ones aren't necessarily all too easy to find, but the Liga ones are there. Strömwall is a guy who is doing well, so we will see how he translates into the future if either the Red Wings or the Oilers do come in there, they swoop and they sign him, because you probably know what teams I like. I want Detroit to get this guy. I want them to experiment with this kind of player. We've seen them try it out in the past, and it hasn't necessarily been amazing, but if things can work out, then I would be really happy if that would. And the guy's only 25, so it's not like the guy's got any room to decline anytime soon. His best days are either right now or just barely ahead of him, so try to capitalize on that now while you still can, and while the interest is definitely there, it appears. So, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Switch with our host 99, and Bye.